Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about restriction cloning. If you are new to this channel, please press the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified. So let's see what is restriction cloning. Restriction cloning is the traditional cloning method, and this cloning method makes use of the restriction endonuclease enzyme and DNA ligase for the cloning. The use of restriction endonuclease enzyme generates fragments with complementary ends. The fragments with complementary DNA strands can be ligated using ligase enzyme. The PCR can be used for generating restriction sites to the product or the DNA insert using adapter primers. So if your insert does not have a restriction site, this can be introduced through PCR using the adapter primers. And today we will be covering these sections in the video. Introduction of restriction sites on the insert, restriction digestion reaction, gel purification, ligation, transformation and screening. Before starting the restriction digestion and ligation process, the vector backbone and the insert need to be selected carefully, and both should have restriction sites for the enzyme to digest. Based on the restriction sites, restriction enzyme can be selected. Suppose if you are cloning a fragment for protein expression, the DNA insert is for coding a protein, it should be inserted downstream of the promoter for protein to express. And the orientation of the insert is also important to get the expression of correct protein. Doing double digestion or the use of two restriction enzymes will force the cloning of fragment in correct orientation. So this is very important because when you want to express a protein, the protein should be in the correct form. Otherwise, you will get a defective protein or the protein without any activity. In terms of PCR product cloning, it is okay to orient in either direction, but for the protein expression, it should be in the correct orientation. Let's see how to introduce a restriction site if it is not present in the insert. Typically, the PCR uses forward and reverse primer for the amplification. So you can see on the left side, we have primers and the DNA template, which upon amplification generates PCR product. But when you want to introduce a restriction site, we can use primer with adapter, which contain the restriction site. Using these primers, PCR can be done, and the product generated will have the restriction site on the PCR product. So that's how we generate the restriction site into the PCR product. Once the PCR is done, the majority of the product will contain the restriction site, and this can be purified. Once the PCR product is ready, this can be purified and used for restriction digestion reaction. Prior to restriction digestion, it is ideal to purify the PCR product through gel extraction or by using PCR product purification kit. Let's see the restriction digestion. To generate complementary ends, the plasmid and insert need to be restriction digested using restriction enzyme. Around 1.5 microgram of the plasmid can be used. So there is no particular limit to this, but the higher amount is preferred because during the gel extraction some amount of plasmid will be lost. So you can start with 1.5 to 2 microgram of the plasmid for the restriction digestion, and the amount of enzyme that is required for the reaction is determined by the supplier, because different enzymes comes in different unitage. So the enzymes supplier will provide the details on restriction enzyme and the amount that need to be used for the reaction. So they will also provide the buffer suitable for the reaction in case of double digestion. Compatibility of the buffer need to be checked in order to achieve the better results. Typically, the restriction digestion reaction is kept for 2 hours at 37 degree, but the duration and the time needs some optimization to get optimal results. Let's see the analysis of restriction digest and the product purification. After the restriction digestion reaction, the reaction mixture is run on agarose gel to visualize the bands, and the band of interest is excised from the gel for gel extraction. So once the restriction digestion reaction is complete, the product need to be purified at the end of the reaction. So this is run on agarose gel and the band of interest is excised for purification. Running control uncut vector and the marker along with the restriction digested product will confirm the band to be excised. Both plasmid restriction digest and the insert restriction digest both need to be purified before ligation reaction. And also here one thing should be kept in mind, that the gel used for running a restriction digest should not contain sodium borate, because the sodium borate is a strong inhibitor of ligase enzyme. So that should be kept in mind. Let's see the ligation reaction. The ligation reaction uses DNA ligase and the buffer containing DATP for joining the insert into the vector. Incubation time and the temperature is variable, and this is depending upon the enzyme supplier and the enzyme used. Nowadays, new generation ligase can complete the ligation reaction in just 15 minutes at room temperature. The ratio of the vector to insert is 1:3, which works well, but the ratio can be adjusted and the better results. The ligation reaction typically is kept at 22 degrees Celsius for 1 hour or overnight at 4 degrees Celsius. Let's see the transformation part. So once the ligated product is ready, this need to be transformed into a host. So this can be either bacterial cells or yeast cells or mammalian cells, depending on the choice you have. So in case of bacterial cells, competent cells are required. Competent cells are incubated with the ligated product. Through heat shock method or even through the electroporation method, transformation can be achieved. For heat shock method, 42 degree for 30 to 45 seconds is typically used, and after that this is grown on a media without antibiotics for around 1 hour. After this, the culture is plated and kept for incubation at 37 degrees Celsius for overnight. So selectable markers can be used for the on the plate for the screening purpose. Typically IPTG, XGAL and antibiotic combination is used for the blue-white screening. I have done a video on blue-white screening. I'll leave that link in the description below. You can check that out. So after overnight incubation, if the ligation and the transformation is successful, you will see colonies, and these colonies need to be screened for recombinants. So it can be either done using a colony PCR and followed by a sequencing of the insert to identify the insert. The other option is to use a restriction digestion to check the orientation of the insert. Hope you are clear with this topic. If you like the video, please share with your friends. Thank you.